All right, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to the real episode 2 of All Things Are Potable. Yeah, we're going to get it going today, I think.
Got a couple of things we're going to get into. Figure we're going to talk about some serious stuff, maybe some silly things, but stay tuned. We're going to talk about angels.
Angels.
That was a hot topic.
Yeah.
I feel like folks who need their deepest theological questions answered
Need to go to another podcast.
will not get them answered. And we'll have fun too. We'll do we're going to try a draft.
Oh, yeah.
Like greatest video games of all time. We'll each draft a team, and then
Is it like a character from a video game?
No, the video game itself.
Oh, the video game itself.
So you're not prepared.
Oh, okay. Ooh, all right.
So like for example, if you picked Super Mario Brothers, that would be the game, but that would also take that franchise off the table.
Oh, so you could do like Super Smash Bros. Or anything like that.
Right.
Damn
Okay.
it.
So we're going to do
right.
something like that here in a little bit. And then really kind of throw it to you, our listeners, to vote. Like who got the winning,
Yeah.
who drafted
Oh,
better.
that's good.
Maybe we could do a poll.
Oh, yeah. All right. Awesome. Here we go. Episode 2. Let's get it. Okay, so Super Bowl was this past weekend, right? This past
Yeah,
weekend?
time flies, but yeah, Super Bowl last weekend.
And, yeah, I don't really care. Who
Yeah,
won, but
didn't care. I saw a meme that said something about, who do you care wins the Super Bowl? And it was with my sentiment.
Yeah.
Don't care.
don't.
Just if they both would have lost, that would have been great.
You know what's crazy to think about is how, like, there was one person whose entire whole job was to just watch Taylor Swift with their camera.
I love the fact that, they're like just manning that camera,
Yeah.
trying to get the right, like, I got the shot. You guys kick over to me as much as you can.
Yeah, that was a stationary shot. It had to be.
For sure. Why would they change it? Yeah, I get it, right? Like they're reacting to every time, Travis Kelce has some great play. They want to see her reaction or whatever, and that's fine. It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't?
Nah.
It's just weird to me. Like, never, we've had so many people who have been, like, I mean, I feel like other athletes have dated superstars.
But like at this level, meaning Travis Kelce, his star power,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, her star power,
Yeah.
and the team's good and in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know.
That's true.
Y'all let us know if you could think of another one. All right,
I don't
enough
really
of
care.
that.
Yeah, Taylor Swift, lame. Chiefs, lame. Was it 49? Lame.
Who else played in this thing? Halftime show. Didn't really care too much about that. Some nostalgia.
I knew one song.
Yeah, well,
One song.
we're probably not the right people for this.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
probably
the deal.
not.
I think, but you did point out. You said that you found several references to the Illuminati.
Bro, Illuminati was everywhere, bro.
Do you mind?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Can you share?
Okay, yeah.
In case you're
I
listening.
think I have my texts here.
Look,
Hold on.
if you know where to look, you will see these telltale signs of
I feel like if you look for anything, you're gonna find it.
the group in the shadows that's running all of it.
Wait, who was all in that? There was a bunch of people in that group text.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't know.
bro.
Good
When
luck.
was that?
I can
Sunday?
tell you some that I remember.
Okay, go start, and I'll just fill in the blanks whenever I can find the.
Okay, so let's see. First one, usher, as in ushering in the presence of evil.
Yeah, the devil.
Okay, that's a little subliminal
that was
message.
hysterical. Yeah.
I'll save my best for last. You know what
Okay.
it is, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Let's see. There was probably, I think there was something to do. Oh, see, now I don't even know.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, thank you.
I got
bought
it.
you some time.
Usher, like Usher in the spirit of the devil.
Yeah.
I mean, just it's right there. in
We
front
shouldn't
of
be
your
laughing
face.
about this. Is serious.
This is serious business. Everybody, be quiet. Ludicrous is the Greek. Ludicrous in the Greek means my master is Satan. And don't fact check any of these, by the way.
That'd be better if you didn't.
The clock on the stage. At one point, there was a clock on the stage.
What was set to 666?
I think so. I
Okay.
think it was 6:66 o'clock. It was 6:66 p.m. Hey, okay, it's serious. Blue suits because blue like light, and the devil is the angel of light. We're gonna come back full circle on that later.
Makes sense.
Yeah, by Usher. That's a song.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. Recognize that one?
Like saying yeah to selling your soul to the devil.
Yeah. No.
Alicia Keys. This is crazy.
This is my favorite.
If you mix up if you mix up her name
Yeah.
and you take some letters out and you add some letters in, guess what that spells?
Lucifer.
Satan.
Oh,
Lucifer, bro, this is serious.
my bad. I apologize. Lucy.
Lil Jon made an appearance, more like Lil Devil. Turned down for what? Turned down for the devil.
Facts.
Is what he means.
Yep.
And then the other ones I can't get into for Illuminati tracking my
We're
whereabouts.
probably already showing up on radar. Or something.
Yeah, I can't do it. But anyways, if you watch that, then that's a. But you know what is crazy? Like I make fun of that, but
Yeah.
like there was that one a few years ago. I think it was like Beyonce or something.
Oh, yeah.
And it was legit. There was some like legit weird stuff.
Okay, so like so there's these artists that get into these like rituals, like they're doing things that are clearly look like some kind of sacred ritual or what.
Yeah.
Out on all of that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but it gets to the point where folks are just looking for things.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so this isn't even supposed to be a topic of the podcast, I don't think, but it brings up this theme. The devil's working in more subtle ways than you realize.
Yeah.
Like your biggest risk is not whatever they're doing with their subliminal Illuminati messaging.
Certainly.
I'm not saying we play with that stuff.
Right.
So I don't mean to make light of it, but yeah, you getting comfortable and not pursuing God with your whole heart. Like those are your bigger risks.
Oh yeah, that and like the stuff you're doing that's not on, like you're watching, if somebody's watching porn or inviting that kind. I mean that's the real killers there.
For sure.
So
all right, so Super Bowl, all right, cool. They had some commercials and stuff that I barely remember now.
dude, I couldn't. You know what? There was a lot of debate about though. Is those Jesus commercials?
Oh,
there was a lot
he
of people,
gets us.
Yeah,
Those?
he gets us. Yeah. There was a lot of people talking about those, and then I actually reposted on Instagram. Oops, sorry, we had a text come through.
Somebody's fired up about the Illuminati references. They haven't even heard it yet.
I reposted that he gets us. Somebody did like a biblically accurate he gets us.
I like it better.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good.
So they could find that probably on your social media, or if it
I
might
post
have
on
been
my stories, but I mean it's floating around out there. I've seen a million people repost it. You've probably seen it, but
yeah, I like it because it gets right to who Jesus is and what he does.
Yeah,
more than just like he gets on our level. It's like no, he works in us to change us, to mold us, to save us, redeem us.
Yeah.
I loved it.
The first one was that Kat Von D lady. It was like former witch.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's pretty. She has a pretty nuts story.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
She was the lady that we were watching. I can't remember, babe. It was something like Cribs or something. It wasn't Cribs, but it was something like that. And this Kat Von D lady had a swimming pool with a red bottom in it, and so like it looked like when you
Prada?
Huh?
No.
Yeah, it was Prada. It looked like though there was like a swimming pool full of blood.
Oh,
Yeah, and that was like years ago.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
completely. I mean, she's still goth, weird looking, but
Yeah.
she's like very outspoken about, Jesus.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
good, dude. I don't care.
Yeah, what was it? They came and asked Jesus, hey, there's these people. He's like, let them keep talking, let them.
Yeah, they're not for us.
Yeah,
I mean, if
they're not
if
against
they're
us.
if they're not against us, then they're for us.
Okay, so recently stuff was church had a marriage.
Oh, that was great.
Conference was fantastic. Well done. Love stuff like that. Couples are important.
Bro, the Duns were so good at
The
that.
Duns are amazing.
Yeah.
Hearing Gary open up
Oh,
and talk.
yeah.
This
legend.
elder, I could just listen to.
He's a legend.
He's a legend. So that was a fantastic event. I love that we're doing stuff like that, pouring time into those kinds of things. All right, let me check my notes. I feel like there was something else that big. I went and saw Chosen episodes, the new episodes for the new season.
Okay, are they good?
They're fantastic.
Okay.
So what's cool is when you're watching this stuff, we have people go with us who maybe aren't as skilled in the word, and they're like, "Is that really in the Bible?"
Yeah.
And it's like, well, some of those stories and things like that they're just, no, that's not in Scripture. Oh, well, is that a problem?
Yeah.
Well, no, I think it's trying to highlight the fact that these are real people. These aren't characters in a story. They had whole, fully dimensional lives, and they could have faced some of those same things.
So, where do we think this season is going to go? Like, I haven't seen one of season 4. So, because I think Dallas said they were going to get, the creator said they were going to get like to the Book of Acts and stuff like that. So, are we getting there quickly, or are we still going to be like?
I feel like we're getting there slowly.
Really? Okay.
Now things are amping up. You see Jesus starting to like kind of show some of the frustration, like you guys aren't listening, like and it and he like is not skipping a beat, getting on the Pharisees kind of at the end of episode 3, where he's like, you got like you basically calling them out for their hypocrisy,
Yeah.
the lack of focus on what matters most. And so there's this moment that was really cool in the theater, and there's like a group of people that were in there with us, besides our real life group that went. So a Pharisee looks at Jesus and he's like, how are you, how dare you say things like that to us? We're your elders or something like that. And Jesus says, I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
Bro,
Mic drop.
people started clapping all through it was just
That's so cool. That's awesome.
So, I mean, I just hope, and I think it does, I think it gets people fired up, but I also think it gets people going back to the scripture and like, what did he say in that moment? What was the context around it that isn't told in this?
Right. And I think that was the creator's whole point, was to get people to go back to the word and look at it, like read the story for yourself. But again, I think it only I don't want to use the word enhances scripture, because I don't think scripture needs enhancement.
100% agree.
But like for me, I'm a very visual person, and so for me, it just gives me another like, oh, okay, that helps bring that to life a little bit.
If we can't use art in different mediums like this to point people to scripture, like that's what preaching is, that's what our songs are, that's why we do dramatizations and things like that, little kids programs. I mean, it's there was a guy that I was listening to the other day, and he was talking about he was actually commenting, he wasn't the one saying it, he was commenting on how there was people that were against The Chosen because it was like creating images of Jesus, and that they didn't, the Ten Commandments is like, they don't, thou shalt not have a graven image of God, and they were like, this is what that's doing. And I was like, that feels stupid to me. I'm not mad at them, but are they consistent? Exactly. So like I'm assuming they don't do any kind of dramatization of anything at their church, even locally. Probably not. I don't know. I just didn't know that was even like a thought process that some people had. I mean, hot take. I'm not trying to cause controversy. Well, I mean, there's a good amount of folks who are frustrated that most of the pictures of, or like I say pictures, like portrayals of Jesus are like European. Very like they're like sissy Western kind of. And very white. Like the most Nordic looking or something. Right? I don't like that. I'm not into that. It's just not. Most likely not. I mean, look how much the scripture goes into, or is intentional about not showing you like, let's give all the details of exactly what he looked like. So I mean, I understand the sentiment of that, but I read that book Killing Jesus by Bill O'Reilly. Which haven't seen it. No, read it. It's good. It's I mean, Bill O'Reilly is not a theologian, right? It's just historical. But he talks about this exact thing. He's like, Jesus was not this what you see on stained glass windows, and he uses the word sissy. And I'm like, I can appreciate that. He was like, Jesus was a man. He was a carpenter. Like he probably had thick forearms and rugged hands. He lived in a rough time. He did. He was like, there were men back then, and these other men respected him. Right. And he talks about this one, and again, I think there was a supernatural element to it, but he talks about the time when Jesus stood up, preached Isaiah in the temple, and then they got mad. They tried to drag him out to throw him off the cliff. And he was like, I think like Jesus stood up and was like, this is not happening today. He was like, I'm not taking a supernatural element out of it, but he was like showing them, he was like, I'm a specimen, like if you're gonna, like, you're not gonna just do this, you know? So again, I thought that was a neat perspective. I didn't subscribe to it, but I think that was a neat perspective. So, you want to talk Angels? Let's do it. Okay, all right. We'll get in with the draft. I like ending on the fun. And on the silly, make everybody frustrated with our lack of knowledge on games. Well, you might do that right now with Angels. I was going to say, if you think we don't know about video games, buckle up. All right. So, I think I read something that there are more references to angels in the New Testament than there are in the Old Testament.
Really?
Now, I wonder if that's because of the Gospels telling of Jesus' birth.
Okay.
You know, I mean, so there's definitely, you know, references there, but there are more references to angels. There are hundreds of references to angels, especially when you take into consideration the way that the text will change it to, like, it won't just say angel, it might say sons of God, or it might say
Messengers.
yeah,
or something,
some other reference like that. So there is a good amount of material in there, and with that said, I feel like there's a lot we just don't know.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So have you ever seen? So let's just talk. So I'm thinking right off the bat. Do you know the difference between a seraphim and a cherubim?
Uh,
Because I don't.
yeah. One of them looks
They
like.
look different though.
Yeah. Because okay, so there are some angels that look like humans.
Yes.
Right.
Or at the very least they appear like humans to us.
Yes. Correct.
Yes. Yep.
Because whenever Peter was getting whenever he escaped out of jail,
Yeah.
the Rhoda went down there and was like, "Hey, Peter's at the door." They're like, "No, it's just his angel. You don't really see him." So they look like people. Also in Sodom and Gomorrah, when they were like, "Hey, these
Men.
dudes look, these men look good. Let's, you know." And so they were like, "Bring them out to us" or whatever. So they look like humans. So, but then there are some that have like feet of.
Six wings,
Six
three
wings,
sets
yeah.
of wings. Some fly, some cover their feet, some cover their face. Multiple eyes, wheels within wheels.
Yeah.
Have you seen the AI generated images?
Dude, those are dope. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Okay.
I followed that AI Bible thing.
Oh,
That is
okay.
crazy.
So if you haven't heard about this, what they do is they take the text and just and submit it as written into an AI engine that will generate an image
It is so
based off of the description. Just purely that description. No, like not a lot of forethought about what we think an angel, like, oh, this is a passage on angels, so it should look different.
Yeah.
It's what does the text say? And they're creepy. They're wild.
It definitely puts it into perspective of whenever people are like they fall down on their face and they're afraid. I'm like,
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
if I saw that Pokemon looking thing, I would be lost, bro.
All right, this is a dumb thought, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyways. If one of those showed up at the halftime Super Bowl, everybody would think Illuminati.
Oh, for sure.
Something
Yeah,
weird's
yeah.
going on.
But that is what's crazy because so was it those crazy ones, the crazy looking angels that were placed outside of the garden to keep people from going back into
You
the
know,
garden?
I
again?
don't know. I mean, I know that, like to your point, like an angel with a flaming sword.
Oh yeah, okay.
But like there are like so that's the other thing too is I sometimes I wonder, you know, the Bible talks about beasts around the throne of God crying holy and things like that. Like, are those angels or are those a totally different creature?
Yeah.
Probably some theologians could tell us answers to these quick questions. But the point being, angels are primarily spiritual beings. And so what we see is how God chooses to manifest them for us.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I don't know if that's true for all of those, you know, angels, but there's something to that because it does seem like, yeah, there's different ways that the image of an angel is manifested. Here's the other point about that. In Scripture, it says that, hey, you could be entertaining angels unaware.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard any stories about folks seeing or
Yeah, dude. So my dad, this is kind of crazy. I'm outing my dad, which he tells a story, but he was in San Francisco.
okay, you probably saw all kinds of things.
Bro, all kinds of things. It
But
was.
if you're listening from San Francisco,
Yeah, we love
appreciate
you, and there are angels there. It was probably like 15 years ago. I'm 30. Yeah, it was probably 15 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe even before that. But he was working in San Francisco, and they were walking to go eat breakfast or something. And he's just like, man, there are so many homeless people. This is 15 years ago. So you know how long that problem's been going on.
Yeah.
So anyways, there were so many homeless people there. And he's walking down the street, and him and his buddy are walking, and they're like, dude, there's another one. There's another one. Bro, this is crazy. This is like, and my dad started kind of getting like this. This is kind of gross. Like, you know, what in the world? I can't believe this.
Oh, yeah.
And they stopped at this like crosswalk, and there was this alleyway that led to nowhere, empty alleyway. The only thing that was in there was a little trash can, like a silver trash can or whatever. And he looked over and he said he saw this lady in this long burlap colored like dress skirt thing,
Okay.
and she had this big brimmed hat on, and she was digging in this trash can, just digging like incessantly. And my dad looked over, and he was like, "This is so gross." And he hit his buddy. And he was like, "Dude, look, there's another one right here." And his buddy was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Right here, JJ, he's right here." And he looked over, and the lady was gone.
Oh, wow.
Like there was nowhere for her to go, and
Okay.
it was like that fast.
Uh-huh.
And he said he felt like immediately like that scripture came back. He's like, "You're entertaining angels unaware. Maybe you shouldn't call
Ooh.
things dirty what I've called clean."
Okay.
You know, like kind of like
He's
God,
getting
like,
hit with, like,
yeah, like quit trying to, why don't you open your eyes and be like, "Hey, these are souls," type
Let's
of thing.
go.
And,
That's amazing. That's good.
So that's kind of crazy, right? I mean,
That's good. That's good. See, I think that like that seems like a way I could see the Lord using the angelic host to minister to us, right?
Right.
To like change our perspective on something.
because but what's crazy is the angel didn't minister. It was still the Holy Ghost.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
It was
Agreed.
still the Holy Ghost.
Agreed.
But
Yeah, yeah.
but that is a crazy like, because dude, I really don't know how I would respond. I know how I would respond. The same way Lee Stone King said he would respond.
Yeah.
He was like, "If I saw those angels and appeared to me," he's like, "I live alone. It would do something to me." And I'm like, I feel that, Pastor Stone or Brother Stone King. I
Oh,
feel
man.
that.
I would be just rushing out of there.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, hey, it's time for us to go.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. What about you? Any stories?
So I don't know of anybody well, I say that nobody anybody personally who would say that they know they've seen an angel or feel like they have, but I do know I've heard multiple individuals while preaching recount stories
Okay.
of God using angels to have like in terms of like protection or something like that. Like one story that comes to mind. I want to say it's Jonathan Alviar tells this story of it's either him or his dad, somebody he's connected to, but it's they're in a city and there's persecution and there's like a group of men that are gonna whip this preacher when he comes out of that church that night.
Chicago.
And so, as he walks out of as the pastor walks out of the building, these guys that are like in the car sit there like act like they're gonna get out and then get right back in and leave. And so doesn't think anything of it, but he's like, "Thank you, Lord. Glad that
Yeah.
glad that whatever he had heard was going to happen or what could happen didn't happen." And so he goes on his way. Some weeks later, men are in the church, and they said that they saw it was these men who were in the car, and they said, "We weren't sure what to do, but we knew we had to leave. When we saw you come out, we thought we were going to get out. We were about to whip you."
Yeah.
And teach you a lesson, try to run you out of town. And as you like got a couple steps away from the door, out of nowhere materialized these huge bodyguards, and they were standing like behind you. And I was like, they were like, "We don't know what that means,
Yeah.
but we know
But they
it
didn't
means
want
that
none."
we don't want it." Yeah. And I could like, to me, that's the kind of stuff that I'll be in prayer at times, and I'm like, "Lord, if like whatever way you choose to use, I know you're able."
Yeah.
And
I've heard stories like that before. We were actually just talking with somebody. I remember who I was talking to, but I can't remember the relationship that this person had with this lady. But she like lived by herself as well, or her husband wasn't home, or something happened, and this guy had like pulled over this country road.
Okay.
This guy pulled over, knocked on the door, and she was like, "Oh, my husband, he's not here right now," or whatever. And the guy like kicked in the door, and she like started running and went to the end of the hall, and the guy like started just kind of like walking towards her, and she just started praying. It was like, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus."
Okay.
And the lady said that the guy just like the look of fear just came all over his face. He like fell down and like started just running like backwards, like on his, like,
Okay.
or not running, but
Yeah,
like
like
trying to
just
crawl
crawling
away.
back, yeah.
Crawling back, and like got up and ran out of the house.
Oh,
And she was like, the lady was telling this other person I was talking to the story, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't know what he saw,
yeah.
but it did the job."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, that is some crazy
Thank
stuff."
you, Lord. Yeah.
And I was with this other this missionary. He is a missionary to his name is Mark Schutz.
Okay.
Where's he a missionary to? Some like Russian.
Russia.
like some Russian country, some Eastern European country,
Okay.
right? So
Right.
uh,
Steel curtains.
yeah, not a lot of God
There's the
going on.
KGB that was after him.
Yeah, it was like he was doing some church stuff, and they were having revival, and people didn't like it. It was the mob. That's what it was. The Russian, excuse me, the Russian mob. And bro, there was like all these crazy stories that happened. Okay, and this guy is telling me this story. We're sitting across the table from him. All right,
Okay, let's go.
bro, this is the wildest thing. I forgot the story until just now. He is sitting there, and he goes out. The mob was like, hey, kind of the same story what you just told. He's like, we're gonna be back if you don't shut this church down. We're gonna run you out of town. We're gonna beat you up. We're gonna kill your family. Like, it's gonna be a problem.
Right.
And Brother Shoots was like, Lord, I believe that you called me here, so this is gonna have to be a thing that you handle, right?
Oh yeah.
And he was like, I've taken some Krav Maga classes.
He's like, maybe I could and convince them that it's not worth it.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
Lord, if you will give me supernatural
Just,
strength
just Samson, those
and
guys.
the jawbone of the donkey.
Yeah, that's all I need. But anyway, so he said that these guys caught him on the street one day,
Okay.
like several weeks later, and he was like, well, he told his family, he pushed his family, like they started running away. These guys started running. He said that dude, and Mark was telling me this, he was in tears, bro.
Yeah.
He was like, the dude stood there, it's three guys,
Yeah.
3 or 4 guys, and he was like, the dude that one of them had like a pipe or something. And he said the dude reared back to punch and started throwing the punch, and Mark just said Jesus and kind of closed his eyes, and the punch never happened.
Okay.
And he was like kind of just stood there bracing for it,
Yeah.
and he opened his eyes and he said the 3 dudes standing around him were all just frozen. I'm like, that's some biblical stuff right there.
Yes,
He
let's
said they were
go.
just frozen.
Let's
And he was
go.
like, all I did, he said, I just walked away.
Yeah.
Just walked away.
Yeah.
I know that's not angels, but that's a dope story.
I love
dude.
it, bro.
That's crazy.
Maybe, but like it could be. Can you just
Oh,
see
yeah.
like if we could see the spiritual, would you like immediately see angels like hold it just got
Oh,
their
yeah.
got their hand on his shoulder?
Yeah.
Just like, all right,
Yeah, not today. Just sunning
not
out.
today.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Uh,
that kind of stuff is amazing. And like I mean there's prayers. I've heard people say like, angels are worshipers too. And so
Mhm.
hey, we're in this church service. There's not that many of us this prayer meeting or whatever. And so Lord, we're going to worship you. And we're praying that maybe some angels get in here and help us out.
Yeah.
And I've heard folks just feel like that the spirit move, and it's as if like there's 1,000 people in there, and it's like
Yeah.
12 folks.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if sometimes that's
sure.
the answer to that prayer.
T.W. Barnes, and for some of you older listeners, you'll remember T.W. Barnes, who's a prophet.
Yeah.
And he said that he was praying in church one day. It was just him. It was like, I think it was maybe like a Saturday night or whatever. But it was just him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said in T.W. Barnes, right? I mean, so he said he knew that there was an angel there, and so he like turned around, and the angel was standing at the edge of their sanctuary.
Oof.
And he was like, hey, you can come in here, like as one does, just communicates with an angel. He was like, hey, you can come in here, and the angel responded to Brother Barnes and said, he's like, no, I can't. You're in the presence of the Lord. And I was like that is wild, dude.
Wow.
I mean, T.W. Barnes has some crazy stories too.
Sure.
That dude, man, wild. But
Been through some things. Great faith.
yeah. Well, so okay, angels. There's like a hierarchy too.
Yeah. Well, and I think don't we only have 2 names in the Bible?
Yeah, and I think if you get like extra biblical, you can get some other ones, but I don't know how Catholic those are. So I don't know. But
So you
yeah,
got Michael,
and Gabriel.
Leonardo. No.
Yeah,
Ninja
those are
Turtles.
Turtles.
I'm kidding. But like, yeah.
Also Guardians. Where are they?
I don't even
I
know.
don't- anyway,
The
sorry.
sewers.
Yeah,
Maybe New York City.
maybe.
So the angels. So the amazing thing about like you get these like Michael the archangel, right?
Yeah.
So
Top tier guy.
top tier, right?
Oh well, Lucifer too.
Same.
Okay, yeah.
So I love this. I love it when folks try to we should be reminded. A lot of times, narratives outside that try to pit good versus evil will put it's like God versus the devil,
Well, that ain't how it works.
and it's like that's not even God. There's no equal.
There's no verses.
no verses on him.
Yeah.
Like at best, you could go Michael versus Satan.
Yeah.
and Satan only took a third, and Michael's still like, well, we still got 2/3.
Yeah.
So 2-1,
Yeah, dude.
if that's a thing. But you know what I mean? Like,
And because Michael is an archangel, is Gabriel an archangel?
I think I've heard it said that like, but he is. I don't know that in scripture that title's referenced to
Right.
him. But it does seem like if there's like CFO, CEO, or,
Right.
you know, like
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
different like leadership titles
Yeah.
at the chair.
Yeah.
Michael's got his like chief of operations.
Yeah.
And then chief executive officer role, and
Yeah.
then Gabriel's like, I got marketing.
Yeah.
Or something, right? Because he's known for being the messenger, in a couple of very key biblical events.
What does the name Gabriel mean? I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, check that out. I
Gabriel.
can tell what Michael means
'Cause it's like-
my name.
Oh, you're. Boy, here we go.
Yeah, Michael. The what some people think is like some kind of English name or something. It's Hebrew and it means who is like God, or it's kind of like saying like who is like unto God. It's a question that is intended to be a form of worship. Like, tell me who compares to God.
Yeah, and there is no answer.
None.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
None
love it.
is there. So Gabriel, which I always like try to Gabriel.
Well,
I can't say it in Hebrew. Swinging a
Cancel.
Yeah. The name Gabriel, meaning God is my strength.
okay.
The name was popularized by the association with the angel Gabriel. There you go.
Now, what it was it Michael or Gabriel in the Bible or in the book of Daniel that was being that the Lord dispatched the angel to visit Daniel?
Yeah, that was
21 days, right? He's like,
Yeah,
Daniel
but he was
starts
held
fasting
up.
and praying,
yeah.
and he's like, come on, Lord, come through. And then finally an angel shows up and says, I've got your answer. Unfortunately, the reason it's so late is I've been withheld by the Prince of Persia.
Which, like, what does that mean?
I don't even, it's like, that's where you get like spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder, is that like
Like, was the because
demonic
he was
influence?
yeah, the Prince of Persia was opposing,
Mhm.
and so like he was trying to prevent the opposition.
Right.
He was opposing the opposition.
So that's another thing. To me, angels are proof that there is constant spiritual warfare that we might be missing, like not even aware of.
Oh, dude, I think it would be crazy to have some like glasses you could put on
To see,
to just see what's going
Yeah.
on in the.
based on earlier conversation, it might be terrifying.
It might be the worst.
So many wrecks.
Yeah.
Don't put them on while driving.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm not. That would freak me out.
Okay, another take. Have
Okay.
you heard this?
Okay.
When you die,
Mhm.
you get your wings. And
I thought it was every time a bell rings, bro. I can't-
Oh, golly. Can't keep up. Maybe that's what it is.
All right, so when you die, you get your.
You become an angel.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's.
It's
Oh.
common in Hollywood, right? Folks
Okay.
die, and it's like, boom, you get a harp and some wings
Yeah.
and a little halo. That's another one. Halos, not in the Bible.
No.
Maybe Moses' face glowing is the closest we can get to it.
We're seeing that's the kind of stuff, bro. I'm like, where does that come from?
So, mythology. So, like the Greek gods had glowing auras around their faces
Okay.
when they would reveal themselves to a man or something. And so, somewhere along
And those
the way,
those are fallen angels.
yeah, right.
And let's get into the Nephilim and
Oh, boy.
and buckle up. We're diving in. But I mean, really, that's kind of what, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's what that is.
You talking about Nephilim?
Well, I'm
Or-
just talking about like
Oh yeah,
those
yeah, yeah,
angel,
yeah.
those fallen angels presenting themselves, and then people get these wacky ideas.
I think so too. Yeah. You want to talk about aliens?
Oh, bro, that's my hot take. I'm like, there's no such thing. Aliens or
Maybe
demons.
folks have been seeing some demons.
Demons, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And if there are aliens, I heard somebody say, and if aliens are a thing, let's presume that they're little green dudes.
Okay.
They all got to bow their little green knees to Jesus,
That's
just
right.
like everybody
That's
else.
right.
So we don't care.
That's right. And but I do want the angel. I mean, excuse me. I do want the alien that's like ET, and I can be like Reese's Pieces. Like that's the kind of
We love Jesus.
yeah. You have
All right.
all right. Yeah. So, bro, yes, I completely agree. And this is all right. Here we go. Hot
Let's keep
take,
going.
people.
No.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna get into it. Hot
All
take. Hot take right here. So a couple years ago, I watched this documentary on the Area 51 whistleblower,
Yes.
Bob Lazar.
Yes.
Some of you, again,
5
older
plus
listeners.
1 = 6. I'm taking notes.
He was an Area 51 whistleblower,
Yeah.
and he was talking about how there was all this different technology inside of Area 51
Yeah.
that he couldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that there was this this spherical, like half spherical thing
Yeah.
that they had from this crash site or
Okay.
something.
Yep.
And he said that literally you couldn't get close to touch it. It had like this weird invisible
Like a
force
barrier.
field.
Okay.
Yeah, that you couldn't get close to it, touch
Yeah.
anything.
Okay.
Okay. And then he said that through all of this, he talks about that. He was like, the first question that when we saw this technology was, can we weaponize this?
Oh.
How do we weaponize this?
Of
Okay.
course.
Right.
Sure.
Then you think back again, this is not in the Bible, or this is not canon, but the book of Enoch
Uh-huh.
references that these fallen angels
Yeah.
came and gave men knowledge
Yeah.
of warfare and
Sure.
iron making and stuff like that. And so I'm like, what if this is the same type thing?
Yeah.
Right? Like what if things like the nuclear bomb, or the atom bomb, or whatever this thing that this guy was talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was real.
But I'm not going to shut it down because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
And I feel like people should be like not too quick to shut everything down.
Yeah, absolutely. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, the fact that we're getting all of this new technology of how to kill ourselves,
Yeah.
that's not of God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not. And so I'm like, yeah, this seems demonically influenced.
Oh, there you go. So you're bringing it back. So yes. So even if you want to call it alien, it's like, well, if it may be non-human,
Right.
the genesis of it may be, see what I did there?
Yeah.
May be demonic,
Hmm.
if anything. Yeah, there's I even heard someone on some news thing talk about that Area 51, or no, the Roswell crash.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember, but they were like making some ties to some testing that was done on like orphaned kids, and that somehow there was, and that went back to Nazi scientists that were brought over after the war, and they did a lot of experimentation on sick and people who were going to die, or kids who were,
And it's definitely, it sounds way better to be like, no, these are aliens from another planet, versus than us just sitting here doing bad things to
cover
kids.
it up, bury it, put some false information out there that's more exciting. Because I do believe the truth on things like this is usually not the most like exciting and titillating thing, right?
Right.
Well, that's lame.
Yeah.
Or, well, that makes sense. You know.
And I did hear this other kind of cool story. This guy was on this podcast. He was a fighter pilot.
Okay.
And he flew on the East Coast, I believe. And he was all over there. And he said they've been having these UAPs, right? These unidentified aerial phenomena, is what they call them now.
New term.
Right. Yeah. So it seems woke to me, but they have these UAPs.
What's wrong with the old term?
Yeah. I like UFOs. I'm old school. He said, but they have these UAPs, and they were going around and just flying, and they almost look like just orbs of light.
Okay.
But they could just go really fast anywhere. And he said that it got so common that when he was out there flying, that they kind of just quit whatever.
Stop paying attention to it.
Yeah, they just kind of quit paying attention, and they were just
Does he have an answer for it? He doesn't even know.
He had no idea.
That's
Bro,
wild.
they had been seeing this for years.
Yeah.
And they had zero idea of what it was, never could interact with it.
Yeah.
He's like, they finally just started leaving it alone. Like,
He's
and
like,
it was multiple, dude.
I feel like there's some stuff, that's my answer too. Like, you want to check into this?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I don't want the smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, I don't know that I'm ready for
I was
it.
going to say, like, you're scared to find out the answer. So what I think, again, he said that it was only on the coast. Like, so it could be something weird with light. It could be something just
humidity, water, light.
It could be some weird.
Like, have you heard of the Marfa Lights? That's a Texas thing.
Oh yes,
Way out west Texas,
Yeah.
and it's like, I think there's supposed to be a good explanation for it.
Yeah.
But the vivacious tourism in West Texas doesn't want to take the hit of the mystery being unraveled.
Definitely. So what I think personally, this is my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
They say that they see these around the coasts, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, what if these are just angels protecting the coast, like the borders of the United States? Because I do think we are.
beautiful.
I do think we are a protected country, even though this is not a Christian nation, in my opinion.
Agree.
I do think we are protected. I think there are enough praying people here that we're protected, right? And so, I don't know. I'm like, that's one of the things that comes to mind. I'm like, are there angels posted around the United States and corners and stuff like that? So,
Who needs the Star Wars program when you
yeah. We don't need an
just
Iron
be
Dome.
praying?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
you're doing.
yeah.
I don't actually disagree with that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's like I said. You can't. I mean, there's no way to prove
Yeah.
it, but that's just my, I don't know, my 2 cents.
Yeah, so I mean, so some of these sightings could be are unexplained, but not unexplainable.
Yeah,
There could be spiritual things going on here. Some folks need to lay off their drugs.
for sure.
There's like a whole mix bag of those things. I'm gonna bring you back to angels.
Okay.
So, in terms of like Bible stories, some of the stuff I think is pretty powerful. That always blows my mind. Is when you talk about Elijah saying like, you know, you got the
Yeah,
serpent.
open my eyes or open his eyes.
Yeah, so he could say there's more for us than be against us, and what he saw
So powerful.
was just like, yeah, this valley full
Yeah.
of an angelic host, and then take that and say, wait, there's another Old Testament reference where one angel took out like 88,000 troops or something, and I'm like, you didn't even need the host. One,
Yeah.
72-eyed, 6-winged flaming sword dude would have
Yeah.
got the job done.
Yeah.
And so that's where I feel like a lot of times the Lord works situations where the deck is stacked against what we perceive to be
A deck stacked against
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm so going to overwhelm
Yeah.
the situation. You know what I mean? So
He's like, dude, I sent the reserves.
Yeah.
I sent everybody.
one could have done it.
Yeah.
But he's like,
He's like, but it's nice. And what if the angels are like, they're like sitting back there, they're like, Leroy, could you please hurry this along? We
Oh,
have
boy.
got to get back up there.
yeah, yes, open his
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah,
We got
yeah.
better things to be
yeah,
doing.
yeah. Why did you even bring us? You never need us. We just stand back here and twiddle our thumbs while you get to have all the fun.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just disgruntled angels with not getting to lay waste to somebody.
We are made in his image, and our sense of humor absolutely comes from the Lord. He's got to be just
Oh, for
having
sure.
a good time with
Oh,
this
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
All right, let's kick off this video game draft.
All right, let's do
So
it.
real quick, let's
Yeah, tell me what's going to tell me what's going to happen because you've changed the rules already.
I gotta keep moving it around so I got best chance of winning. No, I think your wife would corroborate that you don't listen. So
First of all, we can stop this podcast right now.
Glory be to the Lamb of God.
okay, so the parameters for our draft. So real quick, let me just kind of set the stage.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to say what do we even mean by best video game.
Okay.
But our goal here is we're going to do a draft. So I'll pick a what I think might be one of the best, not in no particular order, one of the best video games ever.
And if you're listening to this and you don't play video games, we appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you. You will then pick a video game that you feel like is one of the best video games ever, and then it'll go back to me.
Okay.
And we'll do this until we
Okay.
both have a starting five, like a
Okay.
roster, and we'd love to hear comments.
Yes. Pick the who won.
Pick who won.
Got it.
Who drafted a better team.
And to that, we also want to know what we can draft next.
I would love to keep this draft
Yes,
going.
this is a thing. This is
All
already fun. I'm already into this.
Excellent. Okay.
Here we go.
So
Best video games.
best video games.
And if it's like a Mario, it takes that whole Mario thing off the
Mario's off the table.
Okay.
So it can be cross-platform. It could be any platform. So
Perfect. I'm
if you
into it.
pick a mobile game, good luck. But no.
Yeah. Fruit Ninja.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Oh,
yell.
no. So it could be arcade, whatever, PlayStation, Nintendo,
I'm into
Xbox, name it.
Let's
okay.
get it.
All right. How do we decide who goes first?
Ooh.
I'll
Pick
defer
a,
to
pick a number 1 through 10.
I'll defer to you since I apparently changed the rules and you thought you were picking video game characters.
Okay. All right. So I will go first.
Wait, time out. Can I
Okay.
do one more thing?
Yeah.
When you guys are voting, we'll probably talk about this, but you get to pick what you think wins. Like, is it do you align with one of these teams because they're the more fun games to still play,
Okay.
or are you picking games that you say no, Hall of Fame, Mount Rushmore type, like those are. That's what you get to decide what you think who built a better team. So maybe even in your team, think about some variety. Now, if you know, want to go a different route, go for it. But
Okay.
they get to decide.
Okay, I like it. All right. So for me, the first video game that I'm gonna pick,
Oh, first overall pick.
yes, it is. It's sentimental to me
Okay.
because I used to play it all the time with my cousin. It to me was the front runner of all first-person shooters,
Okay.
and I'm going with 007 GoldenEye from
Knew
the
it.
Nintendo 64.
Excellent.
That
pick.
game is fantastic. I would play that game today, no problem.
I immediately have anxiety about what you're going to be picking before me, and I'm just going to be chasing. I feel great that you picked that because that probably wouldn't have made my top 5. But
Really?
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Although I love what's that character, the little Oddjob?
Odd job. Fantastic. We wouldn't allow you to play with him though.
Yeah, because you bust open a door and shoot over his head.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. And you had to play it. That was what was amazing on that first game where you got to play on a controller, I think, with a trigger.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
like
The trigger was in the middle handle.
That
right. So you have
changes
the
things.
joystick and then this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the worst. The worst controller design in the history.
It was pretty tough.
Of controllers.
It would be tough to go back and play it now.
You need 3 hands.
Yeah,
It doesn't make any
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Nintendo 64 controller. Go check it out. Okay. All right. You gonna sell them on that pick anymore? You good?
No, I'm done.
Yeah,
That's
I figured
good.
so.
That's
Okay.
solid.
All right. I'm gonna kick this thing off with a game that I think has to come off the table right away. And if I don't, you'll pick something in this
Okay.
and like whatever.
Okay.
This is the Michael Jordan of picks.
Okay.
This, although the difference is this Michael Jordan is white, short, Italian, and a plumber.
Okay. Well.
All right, so we're going with Super Mario. I'm gonna go Super Mario Bros. SNES version.
Okay.
Taking the franchise off the table, but I
Yeah.
think that is.
Is that the one that combos with Duck Hunt in the same cartridge?
No. That would have
Okay.
been regular Nintendo.
That was a good one.
Nintendo. That would have been a good one.
It had the gun.
No,
and
this
they
is-
shoot the dogs. That was so sad.
This is like Bowser's kids all have castles on an island, and it's
Yeah.
got Yoshi introduced. I think
Yeah.
introduced Yoshi.
Yeah. So Super Nintendo. Oh, SNES.
Yeah,
you said
Super
that.
Mario Bros.
Yeah, you could ride Yoshi.
You could ride Yoshi.
Yeah.
You eat a blue shell, fly, eat a red shell, spit fire.
Great game. Great
So,
game.
and I just how do you? I mean, it's got Mario, whatever. It's great.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it to this decade of
Oh, okay.
these games, but my next pick will be Uncharted.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic
Solid.
storyline,
Solid.
great puzzles, good
Okay.
action. Love Uncharted. I don't have a game system anymore.
Yeah.
But when I did, I had a PlayStation, and
You picked a PlayStation specific game.
Yeah, platform exclusive,
Golly.
and it's so amazing. Dude.
Yeah, I haven't even
I've
played it.
beaten. I know there's more now, but I had the first 3. I got rid of my game station before they had came out with
I
4.
get it. It was a lame game. I would have got rid of it too.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
Was it Nathan Drake?
Yes.
Fantastic character. Anyway, so Uncharted would be my second pick.
Excellent. I mean, really a good pick. I have been so close to buying a PlayStation just so I could play those games.
Okay.
I think they're on Steam now, and so
Oh, nice.
I might go the route of just
Yeah.
get them that way. Playing them on PC. Great pick. They got like a movie based off the games and stuff now, right?
Yeah, but I didn't really like the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would,
There's a fan film.
You're doing the thing where you're like, the books are better.
Yeah, the game is better. Nathan Fillion
Okay.
made a fan film
Okay.
on YouTube, and it is far superior.
Really?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's good.
Deep cut right
yeah,
there.
really deep cut.
Nice. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take your platform exclusive and counter it with, I think, a better one.
Okay.
Halo Combat Evolved.
Oh, bro, yes.
Okay.
That would have.
It was coming.
Yeah, because that was a nostalgia game for me too.
So 1 was great. 2 was fantastic with but so to me, Halo
1 is the best.
well, and it's like there's a plot, there's a story that makes sense,
Yeah.
and you want to play the campaign. Multiplayer didn't even come until 2, I think.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, whether you are eventually playing the multiplayer variants or just doing the campaigns, My wife is not a fan of this game. I think partially because when we first got married, this thing was like at the root of some of our fights.
Okay.
Because I'd go back to mom and dad's house and hang and do like LAN parties with my bros,
Yeah.
my little brothers.
Yeah.
And she's like calling. Bro, there's a story of her one time calling my mom, like my landline, my mom's house, and she's like, "Hey, is Mike there?" My mom's like, "Why are
Mike
you
who?
asking?" My mom's like, "Why?" She got all defensive, like, "Why are you asking?"
Yeah.
Well, it's almost midnight. I'm wondering if my husband's gonna come home. Not a good look, bro.
Not 13-year-old Mike. Just like, come on, darling, 5 more minutes.
Yeah, bro, it was not a good, not just not a good look, not in a good place to be.
Yeah, yeah.
We've come a long way in our marriage. Now I play games at my own house.
Yeah, for sure. Bro, Halo is the triple headshot with the pistol.
Yeah.
Just so good.
The pistol got nerfed in the second one because it was so good in the
I
first
know,
one.
it was
Sniper,
awesome.
rockets, melee attacks, whatever. All right, so, whew.
All right.
I got Mario and Master Chief.
You do. Those are pretty solid. I've got 007 and Nathan Drake.
All right, come back.
Okay, dude, again, all these are nostalgia for me.
Okay.
So I'm going to, me and my buddy, and he watches the podcast.
Okay.
He watches the podcast. He is actually,
You're going to get at least one vote. Let's go.
yeah, he's in the Navy.
Oh.
So he's actually watching from.
Appreciate your service.
Yes, love this guy. His name's Matt. He's like my brother growing up. He's stationed over in the Middle East, and we used to play the ever-loving snot out of the NBA 2K franchise.
Excellent.
And I know those games are not the best,
No,
but
they're great.
dude, we crushed any basketball game because 2K didn't come on. At first, it was NBA Live.
Yeah.
And we played that,
Right.
and then it went to NBA 2K, and it
Yep.
surpassed NBA Live.
2K way better than live eventually.
Yes. And so, anyways, we played both.
I think
but
they put live out of business.
Yeah, I think so. So I have to put an NBA.
Can you throw a year? Is there a favorite year because of a player in their
Dude,
prime?
So yes,
Okay.
NBA Live 07 had Tracy McGrady.
2K?
No, NBA
Oh,
Live.
oh, yeah, okay, got it.
NBA Live 07 had Tracy McGrady.
T-Mac.
Yeah, and dude, we played that game so much. We would go down to his parents' hunting camp in a little small town, actually where Cheyenne's from in Columbia.
Okay.
And we would play NBA Live. I mean, so much.
Oh, yeah.
And just back and forth. We would trade kids. I mean, we would trade kids. We would trade players
Yes.
on the.
So you have like and you know you're in this game deep because seasons are like 782 games long.
Oh, bro,
And
yeah.
you're playing these like a season.
We were
squad.
we were swapping players
Yeah.
like just and then the game would like players would like age or whatever. And then we did that with
Retire on
NCAA too, right? They were
Yeah.
like you have to like recruit. So
Yeah.
anyways, it was such a it's again nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
I love it. So I would have to put an NBA
I'm here
game
for
in their sports game.
It wasn't until I was playing a game like that I understood like how a pick and roll works. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
Trying to get it to
B,
work on
hold
the
B,
game.
hold B, got it.
Yeah, threw
Yeah.
it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go for it. What's
Good
your next
pick.
one?
Man, so you got a good sports one. I'm gonna. Ooh. Okay.
I gotta think of another one.
All right. I kind of want to go. Man, so I got a couple of directions I want to go. I do want to. I've been thinking about like a sports angle,
Okay.
but with you getting that basketball game, I feel like I'll throw one out there that you might pick. I made the decision. I'm not going to pick it.
Okay.
I was thinking NBA Jam,
Oh yeah, I love the
which is fire.
Yeah,
But
it's a good one.
okay, but I'm gonna pivot away from that. I'm gonna go Need for Speed.
Oh, good. You can have it.
Oh.
Bro, I could not do card games.
Oh no.
Card games are off. I think I said
Go Need
card
for Speed.
games. back
Yeah,
in
that's
the-
how bad you feel about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid card
you know,
games.
like, you know,
Okay, and I'll probably Most Wanted, the first Most Wanted.
that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Right. It just there's something about I'm running from these police.
You were like,
I'm not doing it in real life.
Mom and Dad wouldn't let me play Grand Theft Auto, so I had to settle for the next best thing.
Facts.
Yeah, no, listen, I understand that. I just was never into car games. I've never been into cars in general.
Yeah.
But,
Oh no.
which is crazy because I drive such an elite vehicle.
Okay.
Uh,
Now you're flexing on me. Yeah.
I think that's a good one though. That was the one where the rain hit the screen.
All of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Rain hit the screen. I don't remember if that one has like damage on the vehicles. But I mean, this was torn because like I think that's the one I had the most fun playing, and that's why I picked it.
Okay.
The other two honorable mentions in that space are like Gran Turismo and
Driver was another one.
and Forza. Driver was back
Driver.
in the day.
Yeah,
I played
Driver.
some Driver.
Yep.
But no, so it's got to be Need for Speed. They're all great. I like Carbon. I like Underground. But Most Wanted's where it's at. The first one.
And so I can't pick Super Smash Brothers because that's
Yeah,
on
you can
all your
pick
co-
that, but
I
I
can
wouldn't
pick-
count. Yeah, because I feel like you could. Yeah, I don't think that's quite the same thing as saying
I feel like I would pick Super Smash Brothers
okay.
because that was a pretty awesome game for its time.
Yeah.
Um,
It's solid. People were still. We play it in the real life room before midweek
I'm trying
a
to
lot.
I'm legit right now.
I say we
looking-
play it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in there button smashing while people who know what they're doing are yeeting me off the screen.
Yeah, dude, that it does look like a lot.
I don't even know who my player is most of the time.
I'm trying to look up video games because if you know this about me, I am not a video.
Okay,
gamer.
so you're somebody off screen who is not a gamer apparently thinks we should go classics.
Listen, I'm a fan of the.
There are some classics.
There are some really good ones. Is it my pick?
It is your pick.
Oh man,
I just went Need for Speed. I think that gets us to 3 apiece. So you're at pick 4.
okay. Oh, I think I'll have to go. Man, just because of what it is,
Yeah.
I feel like I can't not pick the Call of Duty series.
Ooh, I knew it was gonna go off the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because that changed the landscape. I mean, yes, GoldenEye was first, Halo, then obviously
Sure.
years later. There was some in between that, but
No, it's a solid pick.
I think Call of Duty with that plus zombies, and again, I'm terrible at first-person shooter games,
Yeah.
awful. But I think just for what it did, you can't not pick that.
There's no shortage of people right now playing some variant of Call of Duty.
Oh,
And
somewhere.
just, I mean, adults getting paid for it. I mean, it's a thing. It's
Yeah.
a whole thing. Yeah, and people who are good at it, that's some skill. That's great reflexes, tactics, all that stuff. Good time. Okay, Call of Duty. Anyone particular you care to highlight?
I mean, I like the World War II ones just because
Okay.
I'm a fan of that time
Yeah,
period.
Call of Duty.
That was fun. Yeah, I don't know,
Call
man.
of Duty 2.
To be honest, I
Doesn't even matter.
It doesn't because I'm not good at any of them. I just like playing the campaign, and yeah, so
I like the old ones the best, I think.
for sure.
Okay, all right. Well then, let me go with. Oh man, so we're both gonna have 2 like kind of first person shooters. This one's gonna make people mad. Are you ready?
Oh,
This is
you
gonna
would say
people-
Fortnite?
Fortnite. Okay, let me make my case,
Okay, do
please.
it.
Let me make my case. I know you're out there right now. You're disappointed.
I'm
and
just
you
gonna
may-
tune out because I hate this.
You might not even be
stupid
hearing
game.
me right now. This might be one of the more frustrating. You're just thinking, like, why should I have characters like Darth Vader emoting and doing the hokey pokey after they eliminate a player? I get it. It's frustrating.
Keyword eliminate. You didn't say kill.
How? Oh, yeah. Yeah, see? Okay, so here's why. I think Fortnite gets folks playing first-person shooters, or third-person shooters. Third-person, sorry.
Third person's where you see the whole character.
Yeah, you're kind of behind.
Which,
them a
if you're
little
still watching at this point and you don't know that,
bit. We love you so
yeah,
much,
Thank you
and
for
we are
just
going to
being
wrap soon.
dedicated.
Okay, no, but I pick it. It has staying power, bro. This thing's been around for a long
Yeah,
time.
it'll never go away.
And it is,
won't.
and there are more people playing it now than I probably ever before. And
Yeah.
they do collabs. They built a thing called Unreal Engine. I'm probably talking about Epic Games now, so that's not fair to bring that in. But like, it's
they're-
fun. So like a guilty confession, my whole family plays, and we'll squad up, the 3 of us, and be on headsets in different rooms, and we're just having a good time. And
Yeah, that's
Caden's,
cool.
Caden's carrying us,
Yeah.
because he's good and
Yeah.
we're not great, but like it's a good time. It's fun. We play 0 builds because I don't know how to build. I actually think the building's pretty annoying, and that's probably what you're thinking of when you think of Fortnite. It's
That's
like,
all I see is these
Yeah.
people just run around just building
Editing and stuff.
stairs. I'm like, go be a carpenter.
Yeah, just play carp sim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, that Sims. like that is a game that's been around forever.
Is that going to be your final pick?
No, I'm not
okay,
an
all right.
idiot. But
And they talk-
that game, that is
Yeah.
that is an honorable mention
Yeah.
right there. I mean, that's a solid.
Sim everything though.
Yeah.
Sim City,
Yeah.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Okay, last pick. I've got what, 2 first-person shooters.
Yeah.
I got an adventure game.
Uh-huh.
I got a sports game.
Yep.
People that are watching this are probably screaming something at the.
Of course.
They're like, "How can you not think of this?"
Of course.
Um,
And I'm having a hard time refining what to pick, so I get it.
Yeah.
Y'all better get at us in the comments. If
Yes,
there's something
for
that we
sure.
obviously missed, like some boneheads,
yeah,
I need you to call us out.
I feel like I saw one a second ago.
If you text me and don't call us out in public, I'm not gonna respond to your text. We should be called out in public if we're missing something obvious. I got 2 picks, and I don't really play either of these games. I've played one of them, but what are you Googling like the best
Yeah,
games
I'm like,
of all time?
I'm literally Googling best
Hey
games of all
Chuck,
time.
which one do you think?
Uh,
Yeah, phone a friend.
let's see. Hey Siri, what are the best video games of all time?
If it takes my pick, series getting canceled.
It says Minecraft.
Oh, that's one of my last 2
No
picks.
way. I'm not picking that.
You're not picking that?
No, that's stupid.
Well, I won't pick it then. Minecraft is solid.
Okay.
I don't really play
I gotta pick one.
I know what I'm picking.
You know?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna say when my team wipes the floor with your team that.
Oh, dude, I'm trying to think of like what nostalgia we could have, but I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you what I would pick. There was this game back that I used to play when we were kids, and it was Batman, Arkham, like
Arkham Knight or Arkham
Arkham Asylum or Arkham.
Great pick.
Yeah. Okay.
You act like you're mailing it in right now. That's
Is-
one of the greatest video games of all time.
It was
It's on
so
the list.
fun, but I just didn't know if that was like.
It's
I
on
mean,
the
it's
list.
probably a deep cut.
And you picked the superhero
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like that's a win.
Yeah, I love that. I love that game. I actually, when I had a game station not long ago,
Yeah.
they had all of those games.
When you
The whole-
preach next time, you should not have notes
yeah,
because this was the best
Yeah.
pick, I think.
well, so they had all these
sorry.
games on for like $7.99, and I got like 4 games
Yeah.
for $7.99,
Okay.
and it was all of these, and I just played through all of them,
Yeah.
and it was so fun. But anyways, that's
I love
probably my last pick.
Haven't played it. Heard so many good things about it. Would love to play it. Want to check it out. But anyway, that's awesome. Good pick.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right. So thought about Minecraft. Honorable mention.
Okay,
Thought about World of Warcraft.
that's been
Would
around forever too.
Probably get like a ton of votes. Never played it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All the votes from people who are super into witchcraft. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Get it over with. Age of Empires 2. It's like a big mass. Yeah, sorry. It's a big it's PC game, like civilization
Play Age of
building.
Empires, go to my mom's basement, sit around here and play video games.
I don't feel bad for any of my previous attempts at roasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's my
Okay.
pick.
All right. So recap. So
I don't
we
know if
go.
I can. You might have to throw it up on the screen later.
Yeah, for real. Okay.
Go.
GoldenEye for
Yep.
me.
Yep.
NBA,
Yep.
Uncharted,
Yep.
Batman: Arkham Asylum,
Yep.
and then Call of Duty.
Got it. I went Super Mario Brothers, Halo, well, Age of Empires,
Fortnite.
Need for Speed, Fortnite.
Yep. Okay. All right, guys. You pick out who won, and then also we want to hear something else we can draft. It could be like best movies of all time, best candy of all time,
Yeah.
best food.
Go burger places.
Yeah, whatever.
Is that
We
your thing?
we
Yeah.
definitely want to do it because we hope you had fun. But hey, thank you guys for listening. We still not sure what we're doing.
Yeah.
But thank you for sticking around with us, and we just hope that you're having as good a time as we are.
Yeah, throw some suggestions out there if you
Yeah.
got things. We actually have a ton of ideas, but like we really want to kind of just, I mean, we're having a great time either way.
Yeah.
So help us kind of order and prioritize.
Yes. I tell you what, put in the comments, text us, whatever.
Yeah.
We want to know topics for our next time, topics for next one. All right, guys. We appreciate it and we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in to All Things Are Potable.
Y'all take care.